Hi, good afternoon, residents, and welcome to another edition of Riding Around Renaissance with Rob. Here we are on a Thursday, just driving through the community. Beautiful day out there. A lot of people out walking, riding bikes. Nice to see. Today's message, I guess, is here we are. It's Memorial Day weekend. I mean, who would have thought? Memorial Day weekend. This is when we should be, having the pool should be open. All of our outdoor activities should be bustling with everybody out there doing stuff, but unfortunately the world had different plans for us this year. So I hope everybody read the email that we sent out the other day. It answered the three most important three questions we're getting the most often, and explained everything there. So I hope everybody read it. If not, it's also going to be my article for the newspaper that will be coming out for June, so it'll be out in a week or so. So you can read it there as well, or you can just contact the office and we can get you a copy of that. But it really gives you some good information. But basically, I just wanted to go into what our plans are and our thoughts, as I explained in that email. Nothing is opening before Memorial Day weekend. The pool's not opening, unfortunately. Everybody's probably seen the governor's phased approach that he's taking, whether you like it or not, but that's the approach that he's taking. So you see that pools and all that are not in there. He says eventually he's going to address pools, but we don't know, and we have to see the guidelines. Right now, based on what he's just done with his new executive orders, the only things that we could possibly open would be the tennis and pickleball courts. So we are looking at those options. We have we have the executive order now, so we know what's required. Now it's trying to implement a procedure to allow that, and that's what we're currently doing. I said in the email that this would be a very slow rollout of everything. So we just ask for your patience, because we have to look at many different factors, because all the executive orders state that you have to make sure you can comply with them. So that's the huge thing, is how do we comply? How do we make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing? And we have to look at all that information. I got a lot of positive feedback on that last email, but then there's also negative feedback that you get, people saying, hey, don't treat me like a child and stuff like that. And that's not our intent. We're not trying to treat anybody like children or anything like that, but we have certain laws that we have to follow, so we have to do it. And unfortunately, I had to go out and break up people sitting by the pickleball. We had to stop people from gathering and having parties outside our maintenance building. So people are not following our rules. So you have to understand where we're coming from, that if the executive orders say we have to make sure we can comply with this, when we know people are blatantly breaking our rules, then, we have to be very cautious with every approach we take. And that's exactly what we're being. It's not that we at the management office or the board doesn't want to open things. Of course we do. We want to get back to letting everybody do everything they can as quick as possible. We have to take the right steps and approaches to ensure the safety for everybody as well. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. So like I said, right now we are looking at options and developing plans to open those two things, the pickleball and tennis courts. Doesn't mean they will. We might find it's not feasible after we do, after we have our conversations with everybody and figure it out. But hopefully we can come up to a workable plan that allows it. We have some good input, some good ideas. Like I've said before, I talk to 15, 16 different managers every day on a conference call. We represent about 30,000 homeowners. So there's feedback that I'm getting every day from other communities. They're getting feedback from our community on what we're doing. We're sharing ideas. So there's a lot of different things we're looking at. But again, it's a slow approach rollout that we're doing. So it's going to take some time, and we just need everybody's patience and cooperation. We have done it with the golf. For the most part with the golf, everything does seem to be working out pretty well. We've now went up to, or actually tomorrow, going to start the foursomes of golf with the new executive order. So we're putting that into place tomorrow. But again, like I've mentioned in the past, it's a lot easier with golf because everybody's using their own equipment as compared to the other things, because there's a ball that might be involved that everybody touches, or certain equipment might be association equipment versus bringing your own. So there's different aspects, and with golf we have rangers and stuff, or starters that ensure that people are going out in single groups and everything like that. So it's the same thing when it applies to the pickleball tennis courts. We have to ensure that everybody's out there doing singles only play, not gathering. You see that the executive order was clear, pavilions are not open. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's a lot of stuff that we have to figure out as a group, which we are doing, and we're working as quickly as possible. But we're going to, as much as we're working as quickly as possible, we're going to take our time to do it right as well and make sure that it works before we put anything in place. And then as other executive orders come out and other phases of the plan happens, we'll be approaching them the same way, to ensure that we do everything safely. Because again, it's the goal of, ours and the board is to get everything open, as safely as we can. And get everybody back to what the normal will be at the time, whenever they do open. But we're, the governor's the one who's in charge. He makes the decisions, and we, like I said, we saw his phased approach, so we know kind of what to expect. But you don't know what the end results will be. So we just have to take it day by day. And it does change day by day. I think everybody's kind of realized that he has changed his mind very quickly on things. So we just have to adjust on the fly, and that's what we're doing. So I hope everybody understands that. I know this Memorial Day is going to be a lot different than Memorial Days in the past, but again, try to make it the best and that you can, have fun with it where you can, do things that you can do, but have some Zoom calls with family and friends, do all that kind of stuff. Have a happy hour. Happy hours, it's funny that I've been in touch probably more with people in my life, that relatives, cousins, everything, that I never have been really that much in the past because of this, so there's some positives that come out of it, because we have these Zooms, because everybody's doing the same thing and being home, so you want something to do, so you do a happy hour here, you do, Zoom calls here with this and that. There's a lot of interactive games you could play with people via the Zoom, so there's a lot of things that can be done, so I'm just saying that, we just got to do what we can do, and figure it out as we go. But there's a lot for everybody to do. So we're gonna move on to our next stop, and we'll see you in a minute. All right, and now we're back. So now I just want to talk about a little bit about the projects we got going on and what we're doing as we're still trying to do everything. Right now I'm actually sitting in the clubhouse parking lot, and one of the projects that we are able to do now that the lifting of the construction, non-essential construction, we're doing our parking lot. So right now we have crack filling being done. So you see all the new crack fill that was put out there, all that black, heavy black, that's all crack fill. And then soon in the near future, we're going to actually seal coat and restripe the entire parking lot of the clubhouse. So that's one of the projects we're working on. We're also have our road project coming up. We're trying to get that scheduled now, again, because of the restrictions being lifted. So now we got to get on the schedule for that. But the crack filling and the seal coating, they were able to get that done for us quickly. So the crack filling is actually all complete. And I would say next week or the week after is when they'll come in with the seal coating and then line stripes. So we'll basically be looking at a brand new parking lot for the clubhouse within a couple weeks. And then, like I said, we'll be going to the roads. We have some other projects going on. We're going to be replacing the entrance and exit doors at the PMO office. We've done some stuff, some changes with the pools as we, get have time to make some repairs. So we're doing that. A lot of good stuff. Actually, the guardrails over here, these all been scraped down and they've all been painted, something we probably never would have accomplished. But they're a nice green now. They actually look brand new. But since there's no cars and nobody parking, we were able to, our in-house guys were able to, scrape them all down and paint them up. So it looks beautiful. So a lot of things that we are still doing during this time. We have some other stuff in the works that we're planning on, that we're investigating. So we are still doing a lot of projects, that we can do. Like I said, we got a few more things in the works that we'll reveal later once we, enter some contracts for it. But there's just we're still moving around with a lot of things, but I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that we are doing. Because not everybody can get up here and drive around, but you'll be receiving notices once we do the seal coating, because there will be a day that we'll have to close the deli so we can do the seal coating. So we'll be putting that out there as well. Another note, just on that, Monday is Memorial Day, so PMO office will be closed all day, and the deli is also taking a day off as well. The cafe, they're not going to work on Memorial Day. They need a break. They've been servicing us 7 days a week, so they're going to take a break on Memorial Day to re-energize. So the PMO and the cafe will both be closed on this coming Monday, and that's really it. So now we're going to move on to our song. Again, don't know what we have going on here, but same rules always apply. Email your answers in to Joanne. Don't comment on the video with the answers. $10 gift card for the cafe.
You don't know how lucky you are. Shouldn't spend your whole life wishing for something bound to fall apart. And if you're ever feeling empty, better thank your lucky stars. 'Cause if you ever felt one breaking, you'd never want a heart.
All right, and we're back. Okay, so now you need to name that song and the artist that sings it. Email that to Joanne. First person that emails it correctly with both the song and the artist, like I said, will win the gift card, $10 gift card to the deli. So we're going to wrap it up. Again, please enjoy your Memorial Day. Know that we are working hard to get things back to where they were, but it's, again, a slow rollout. But we are doing our best. We're working at this. We're basically working at this 7 days a week. I can tell you that for a fact. We're at this 7 days a week, working hard, trying to get things going. So please enjoy this long Memorial Day weekend the best you can. As always, stay safe, be well, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.